Writing code is more creative than people realize, and writing good code is like a really tough creative puzzle to tackle. You need to be really mindful of how you name your variables, what kind of comments you write, and all of that stuff to make sure that your code base is as impeccable as it can be. Your code base is your masterpiece. Give it the respect it deserves. Yes, you might be able to make a simple web app or a calculator, let's say, but is your code efficient and scalable? And more importantly, can other people easily understand what's going on? And this point is the most important one, I think, that can other people easily read your code, easily go through it and understand what it's all about? Because readability is number one. Because all your life you won't be working on software alone. You'll be collaborating with people, you'll be working with a lot of people. That's why you need to make sure that your code is clean and efficient. So there are a lot of tricks and mindset hacks that you can employ in your learning as well to make sure that you're writing better code. And this video is divided into two parts. In the first one, I'm going to talk about the coding tricks basically. And in the second part, I'm going to be talking about more of the mindset tricks. Like, it's just a simple tip that you can employ to be a better coder. So getting to the coding tricks. First of all, you have to name your variables and functions really thoughtfully. If you're adding two numbers, right, you can have n1 and n2 as two numbers, but then it's not that clear. It would be really preferable to call them number 1 and number 2. Those small things can really make a lot of difference in your code base, because imagine you're reading through a piece of code and then you see n1, n2, and then you see n1, n2 at a lot of places. Then you have to struggle to make the connection. But when you see number 1 and number 2, that would occur more easily to you. It's a lighter load on your mental. And I know that now all the IDEs have this auto completion sort of, so it's not also a lot of effort in writing. You should definitely opt for longer and descriptive names. Don't just save some characters in your code, just write descriptive names. That's going to make your code base a whole lot better right away. Second of all, you have to write thoughtful comments and comments that matter. For example, if you're returning in a function number 1 plus number 2, you don't need to add a function over there that def add is a function and that returns two numbers. That is pretty clear from there, right? Ideally, your code should be self-documenting. Like, from seeing your code, people should be able to understand that what's going on, and comments shouldn't be necessary. But I understand that there are a lot of places where we're using a third-party API or a library or something like that, and comments should ideally be used over there to explain, the functionality behind it, or something that's being abstracted away and what it's doing in situations like those basically. And third of all, you have to refactor your code to be modularized. What I mean is, if you have a long function, if you're making a calculator where you have the functionality of adding, multiplying, division, and all of that stuff, yeah. So you should make different functions for all of those operations ideally. I know this is a very trivial example, but once you get into the habit of modularizing your code, it really helps you build better code bases. Let's take a deeper example. Let's make a Telegram bot that sends you a notification at 12 a.m. every day with your Instagram subscriber count. So you can ideally write all of that functionality in one function, alright? But you need to break it up into different functions. This is also easier in debugging, because then you can specifically go into the functions and see which function is breaking the functionality. If you have a huge chunk of code in one function, then it's harder to sift through those, and it's just more mental energy spent on that. So if you're making like that sort of Telegram bot, you'll have one function to scrape Instagram, then you'll have one function to send the notification, and all of that small stuff that goes between them. Like, break your code into multiple functions. Like, more often than not, it pays off in huge dividends. Now, moving on to a basic mindset that you need to employ to write better code, you need to make a habit of understanding the abstractions. What I mean by that is, understand what's happening under the hood of a framework or a library. Yes, you can write code without knowing how a library or how a framework functions. Like, you don't need to dive into React.js source code to understand how to make a web app with React.js. But once you start to understand how those things function under the hood, you will become 100x coder than you are right now, because things will come easier to you. You will make more mindful decisions in what kind of coding standards you use, in what structures you use, and all of that stuff. Believe me, once you start to understand what the magic is behind those libraries and frameworks, you'll become such a better coder because you'll understand the deeper level and the usage of it would just seem trivial to you. Like, that would be the easy thing then. Like, for example, if somebody starts learning backend development through, let's say, Django, then all of the thing that happens behind it, like the ORM or authentication and all of that stuff that comes built into Django, that seems like magic to those people, and they have a hard time understanding that what's happening. Yes, you can make an amazing web app with Django without knowing a single thing about what's happening under the hood, but when something doesn't work the way you want it to, debugging is going to be a hell for you if you don't understand how it happens. That's why I always suggest that if you're learning backend development in Python, first go for Flask, understand the basics of and the fundamentals of backend development in Flask, and then move on to Django, because definitely it's an amazing tool. Alright fam, that's it for this video, and I hope you found some sort of value in this video. If you have something to add on that can help people, definitely drop that in the comments. And if you found some sort of value through this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more amazing content coming up. You don't want to miss that, so you need to subscribe for sure. Also, if you want to talk to me, just shoot me a DM on Instagram or Twitter. I'll drop the links to the handles below in the description. So yeah, you can definitely come on those platforms and talk to me. I post pretty regularly on both those platforms. Alright guys, see you in the next video.